What it do, Giants Gun? I'll be Santa here from Giants Horizon, and I took a day or two just to try to realize what just happened on Sunday night. The Giants obviously fell 0-3 for the fifth time since 2017, and it's incredible how a team that has so much talent. Because I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, this team has a better roster than past years. Yes, they're not playing to it. A lot of things, in my opinion, has to do because of the coaching staff, the way they're doing their game planning, the way they're operating, and they're using their players. Like on defense, if you want to talk about how Abdul Carter is actually being utilized in this game against Kansas City. If you see the game, most of the game was a four-man pass rush, and in reality, it actually turned into a three-man pass rush because they were using Abdul Carter as a spy. So Abdul Carter will go in and then stay back to spy on Patrick Mahomes. Go look at the game. Go look at most of the time it was like that. Yes, Abdul Carter, you will see him penetrate sometimes, but most of the time he'll just stay around the center, and then once Mahomes was out of the pocket, he will attack them. So basically, Shane Bowen's great mindset, great scheme to try to defend Patrick Mahomes was use a four-man pass rush that it will turn into a three-man pass rush because it will use Abdul Carter as a spy. And then obviously that's why Mahomes had the time in the pocket to be able to elude players and everything and do the plays he did downfield. Then, you got guys playing off coverage. It's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 5. You got the DBs playing 10 yards off. There's no creativity in Shane Bowen's system when it comes to attacking the quarterback. This is a copycat league, right? But the Eagles last week, they attacked Patrick Mahomes in a different way that they attacked him in the Super Bowl. And it worked, right? Produced a lot of pressures, they got to him, and etc. Instead of us doing the same thing with kind of like the same type of players, a good defensive line that we have in the pass rush that we're supposed to be having, we didn't do that. We just stood back in a vanilla coverage most of the time and played some man coverage or some type of match system, but it's horrible. In my opinion, the defense is being played horrible. If Steve Spagnuolo had this defense, easily Patrick Mahomes would have been sacked at least 12 times, in my opinion. Going back to the offense. Obviously, the offense, Andrew Thomas came back. When Andrew Thomas was there, the running game started to produce. The fact that Tyrone Tracy got hurt that's a bad thing to happen. But obviously, Cam Scatterbo is there, and he has shown that he brings the life to this offense in a way that Jeremy Shockey used to do. Like, he just brings that hypeness, that excitement when he's on the field. And not to take anything away from Malik Neighbors, but the fact that he actually does that as well. It's just kind of like a familiar feeling when you see him play. Other than that, Russell Wilson, obviously, we know that if Russell Wilson gets pressure through, from the inside center and the two guards, Russell Wilson's a short quarterback. He's going to have issues trying to see the ball downfield. But the fact that the Giants had all this time knowing what happened in Dallas, knowing how big of a game Malik Neighbors and Robinson had, didn't scheme anything. It seemed like they were just running the system was kind of off completely. The running game was working, but they couldn't do anything off it. I understand that, you have talent when it comes to Neighbors, Robinson. I think Theo Johnson is not being utilized correct because if you're taking the main two targets, go to your 6'5" tight end, give him more of a role in the offense or make some screens. Do the same thing Kansas City was doing. If Malik Neighbors couldn't get a catch, run him on sweeps, run him on jet sweeps, do something, screen passes, whatever it is. But it seemed like they didn't know how to scheme anything. Other than that, I want to go back a little bit. I'm seeing a lot of posts about Daniel Jones because Daniel Jones is playing and the Indianapolis Colts are 3-0. Face to the fact that they play an awful Dolphins team, to the fact that they play a Denver team that got called back for a penalty once, the Colts missed a field goal at the end of the game. And obviously they play a Tennessee team that obviously has a rookie quarterback in the upcoming. People forget that the Colts actually were trying to be a playoff team last year. So they do have talent. And obviously they still got Jonathan Taylor as a running back. Against Tennessee, Taylor had 3 touchdowns. Okay, so they want to make this Daniel Jones era and he's better than we thought. No, Daniel Jones who we know he is. Okay, the pumpkin is gonna turn into a pumpkin. Once the season's over, you're gonna see that Daniel Jones is gonna have the same type of stats that he had with the Giants. I mean, people are just looking at things. He's underthrowing passes. He's not. He's a check down player. When you come to see, most of his passes are under 10 yards. Does he have a good running game? Does he have a better offensive line? Yeah, he does. But he's still the same player. You could just see the way he develops and the way he plays in the pocket. You could just see the way he's still, shy. When he sees a player open or something like that, he just underthrows the receiver. Against Denver, he has a receiver on the right sideline beating the corner, nobody in front of him. He underthrows the receiver because the receiver has to slow down to catch the pass. If that was another quarterback, that's a touchdown. So let's just ease down with this Daniel Jones bullshit that I keep hearing online and on TikTok and on X and everything, because he is who we know he is. All right, that's the reason that he's not our quarterback, and I'm glad he's not a quarterback. Anyways, keep it posted. The Giants are rising. Let me know what you think. Unfortunately, we fall to 0-3 for the billionth time. It seems like it. There's a lot of noise about Dart probably playing against the Chargers. If Andrew Thomas is there, man, I don't really give a damn. Let's just put him in, see what happens. At the end of the day, more than likely this organization is going to go to a new chapter. It's going to just tear everything down. New head coach, new GM, I don't know, etc. is going to happen. We do have the players. I think that the offensive and defensive coaches are not putting the players in the best positions to win. And that's it, man. Unfortunately, we got fooled yet once again. Anyways, keep it posted. The Giants are rising. Let me know what you think. Peace.